Welcome, everyone, to the June 13th Planning Commission meeting. I'll call the roll. Hema?
Here.
Johnson?
Here.
Montgomery?
Here.
Gesme? I'm here. Can we get an approval of the agenda?
I move to approve the agenda.
Second.
Moved by Hema, second by Johnson, to approve the agenda. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Public input. Is there anybody here for public input? John? Aaron? You have anything? Oh, I'll talk to you later. Okay, so we're just going to bypass the public input. We'll get right on to the Planning Commission business. There's a recommendation for recommending a petition for hearing for annexation. Diane, do you want to take over?
There's been a request for an annexation by Aaron Smith of Greensmith Builders. This property is currently in Cannon Falls, Section 7, Township 112. The request for annexation is for approximately 44 acres. The proposed purpose will be for R3 medium-density residential single-family homes. And just for everybody's information, single-family homes are 9,000 square feet, the lot. And the lots are 135 feet deep by 60 feet wide for regular lots, and corner lots, they would be 135 feet deep by 70 feet wide. Also, if this goes forward, just a couple notes so we know how this would run. If you guys approve recommendation to council tonight, then it would go to the next council meeting on June 21st. At that meeting, there would be a motion to permit a hearing after 30 days of notification. And we'll stick with that for now. Yeah.
We have Aaron Smith from Greensmith Builders Developers. He would like to probably explain their project.
It's on this time.
Yeah.
Good, okay. Hi, those of you that met me last time, hi again, and those that are new on the council, or I think I've met most of you, but we couldn't be more excited to be here in Cannon Falls. This is just a beautiful project on some beautiful property. So we've put together roughly 52, 54 acres in total. Under the R3, it'll be enough for 129 houses. They're $350,000 to $500,000 houses that will go in there. And the views are just, if you haven't been up on the property, the views are just incredible. I know attending some of the chamber meetings now, we felt the same way when we looked at Cannon Falls, that we just desperately need housing for people to come in. Talk to my neighbors at Gemini to the west, and like, can you build housing just for us? And it'll definitely be available. But I think that we talk a lot about bringing jobs to towns, but we got to bring the housing to bring the jobs, and we stand ready to go. I know we want to get phase 1 going as soon as we can. The annexation helps us with some of the dirt balancing as we do the earth moving throughout that property. But I think we'll attack it in 3 phases throughout. And we will, Greensmith is in our name. We will do very energy efficient solar. We'll try to keep people's utility bills low. We figure that that's a great way so people can afford a little more house with a little bit less utility bills. We've, just from an experience perspective, so Greensmith Builders is myself here in Minnesota and my partner, Mark Wigder. We went to school together, and we've done properties we have 2 projects in Houston right now, and we own projects across Florida and New York and Connecticut. So lots of experience between the 2 of us on bringing developments online. And then kind of our thesis has been here in Minnesota to help small towns develop and bring housing to great small towns. We have another project out in Laverne, and I think that's a good overview, but I'll open it up to the council for any questions that you might have for me.
R3, and that's just single-family homes, or is there a possibility of,
I believe you were going to have the potential for multifamily homes?
Yeah, I know we've talked about, and was kind of talking to Gemini and talking to the city, that the phase one, which is on the lower tier and abuts the current Viking Drive, that actually we could do something there in a PUD and do some nice townhome property there and potentially do for rent property there. I think that would allow us to get the uptake a little bit quicker. And I think if we go that route with the city, it would allow us to build everything at one time and then lease it up. Thank you.
thanks.
I'm looking at the concept plan, and I'm trying to look at Google Images there too. The road to the left, that's Viking Drive that continues off into the field to the north.
Yes, sir.
And then the little bit on the bottom corner, that's Highway 17 again?
Yes, it
Okay.
comes back out at 17.
Okay, so there's
right
no
across
frontage.
from that cul-de-sac. So we
Perfect.
bring it out right to match with that cul-de-sac.
Wanted to make sure that wasn't like a frontage road that
Yes.
led back to
No.
Petition. Okay,
No frontage planned.
okay. You said 350 to 500,000. Tough question, but with today's economy, inflation, building costs, are you seeing things slow down in some of the other projects? I know those are different markets, different states, but we're all dealing with a lot of the same stuff with fuel costs and things like that. So,
Yeah, no, great question. The bigger issue actually right now for development and construction is supply chain disruption. It's getting your garage door, getting your air conditioner. In fact, I was talking to CETA about renting if you're out there watching, you have a warehouse space for rent. So a lot of it, for our Laverne project, we had 7 semi-trailers and we loaded our inventory in there so that we're ready to build. So somebody's going to get the material. So materials are a bigger issue. On the lumber side, it's been a lot of fluctuation, but lumber costs have come back down now quite a bit. Now you are seeing some fuel surcharge, but that's a smaller percentage. And kind of my take on interest rates, and I'm a little bit older, but I don't have a crystal ball, but maybe we're going to see another 1 to 2 points of interest rates. Historically, that's still been a fairly good interest rate, but it's going to change. That's why we think rentals are probably a good, safe first bet, and then we follow that on with single family for sale back on the second tier of that bluff, which is the gorgeous bluffs behind and the nice retainage bond. So, did that?
yeah, absolutely.
great.
Do you think that this, for your maybe market research, or do you think this is going to be first home builders coming to Cannon Falls, or do you see this being kind of the ricochet effect of appealing to locals that know the area and say, oh, there's views, all this stuff, and build a house, put the house on the market, or what kind of effect do you think that could have?
We don't discriminate in who we sell to, so it's whatever people think. But what I saw in Cannon Falls was, I always say it's such a cute town. You got the National Historic District. Like if I had to develop a town to look like that's what I would pick. You're equidistant between Mayo Clinic, the $5 billion expansion, and the cities. I think you're going to get professional couples where maybe it is their second house, and they're saying, you know what, we want to be in that great small town. We want to be in that school district. I don't need to be in the office in Minneapolis as much. So it's a little bit of that Zoom effect. And one of us works at Mayo and one works in Minneapolis or St. Paul. So that's where I think Cannon Falls really benefits. Make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, looking at how to funnel people in and out of these developments, on the east end, it's going to exit
On to
directly
17.
on 17.
Yes, ma'am.
On the west end, it'll go through phase 1.
Yes, it'll go through phase 1 and out through Viking to 17.
If I were the people now living on Viking, I would not be happy with this. Is that, excuse me. That's a lot of cars.
You will have 129 houses. I mean, you would presume that 60 people would probably go out to 17 and 60 would go out Viking. Most of them would be heading east. So yeah, you might have an extra 120 cars a day on Viking. I know Viking's going to be redone, is on the schedule to be redone.
Well, it will be as soon as you're.
Yeah, after I'm done messing it up, we're going to redo Viking. But
Well, I know that. Just to answer the question. Just to answer the question, that road was dead end there for a reason, to supply a out for that future property. That's why it was done that way. So, otherwise it would have been a cul-de-sac.
This is not going to be a association. We already talked about there might be a difference of properties, but this isn't going to be styles 1 through 4 and 3 different colors, and that's all you get. This will be multiple designs, or what's the?
I don't know exactly yet. So I hate to,
Yeah, I get it. I
Yeah.
don't want to.
yeah, I hate to answer without, but I think that there's always that potential of, do we bring in 2 or 3 other builders and then they each, do lot takedown, and that way we'll get the neighborhood built more quickly.
Right.
If we build them all ourselves, then it's going to be, well, you really got to pick like 12 to 16 different styles and do it throughout. But we will have some design covenants either way that we go. So it's kind of consistent with, I call it modern prairie farmhouse.
Okay.
Which seems to be the style. My interior designer tells me that's what the gals really like.
Basements?
If the lot
If the,
suits it, I think if you look at the north side of the property where you're sloping up to the bluff line, you might be better off with tuck under garages, the way the architects have looked at it, with the basement behind it and then the house sitting up and walking out to the backyard. But then as you're on the south side, which would be the continuation of Viking Drive, then the lots slope away down to that retainage. And my goal is, that nice retainage pond with the walking path around it, a little waterfall in there, a dock for the kids. Those will be walkouts on that side because you want to look at that pond, lake, retainage pond.
So sidewalk on here too?
Yeah, sidewalk required on one side of the street.
How about green space? Are you gonna have any common green space areas that you would set aside for recreation?
The bluff,
Yeah, all right, what are you gonna do with it?
can't do anything with the bluff, but I think that the bluff is beautiful green space. I know we looked at some opportunities to the west for an amenity space or some potential for the existing farmstead, and I can't control for that, but the existing farmstead to be an amenity space for the project. And kind of our vision would be, I think as long as we're going well through phase 2, that we look at that amenity space, and it's the barn, there's some community gardens, there's a dog park. All the paths kind of lead today out of that farmstead. So that would be really nice to capture as kind of a phase 4 to be that agri-hood type of center amenity. But that's future state at this point.
do we have any expectations with developments with parks? I feel like with Sandstone, we had talked about so many feet.
That's all a park now, isn't it?
Well, that,
Sorry. I know too much now.
yeah.
When this whole concept comes in, we'll have to have that discussion.
Okay.
It's, right now, we're looking at the annexation, but
Got
the
it.
preliminary
Yep.
and the concept plan, when that comes piling through, you guys will get an opportunity, the park board gets an opportunity to take a look
Right.
at all this stuff.
Because I know we got Viking Park right there. It's
Yeah.
little, but if that fits,
Well,
I
you
understand
have, when it comes to the development agreement, you have the option of land or fees. And if there's a park there that can be expanded, that might be the option.
Yeah, Councilmember Montgomery, that was kind of my take on it, looking at that is, I'd rather pay a fee. Let's really make that Viking Park a little more fun for kids.
Yep. And it's right there on the same
And
side.
it's right there, yeah.
Same side of Highway
street.
17, so we don't need, yeah. I-
That's right.
Yep. If there's more discussion, great, but I'd make a motion that we approve a recommendation for a petition for a hearing for annexation.
I'll second it.
It's been moved by Montgomery, seconded by Hema, to move this forward for the hearing for annexation. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh,
You okay?
I gotta clean up something on the agenda here. I didn't approve the minutes from the April 11th meeting. So I need a motion to approve the minutes from the April 11th.
Oh, you didn't do that. Make a motion to approve the minutes from April 11th.
Second.
There's been a motion to approve the minutes from April 11th by Mr. Hema, second by Johnson. Is any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carries. Laura, do you have anything as long as you're here? You guys? Anything?
Like to make a motion to adjourn then?
Second.
Motion by Hema, second by Montgomery to adjourn. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.